Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another vlog and another video. So, I know it's been a few days since we had last done a vlog and had last done a video. Well, we're here now. Also wanted to just kind of let you know first thing. Kind of got a little bit of a cold here, a little bit. You know, hopefully the way that you can tell, the way that I sound, I don't sound too entirely bad, but I do right now have a little bit of a cold right now. Um, you know, Nothing like a real sinus headache or anything, but just kind of a little bit, just kind of, a little bit, plugged up in spots, Um, uh, Had just slight bit of scratchy throat, a little bit, but not too entirely bad right now. So, um, but well, one other thing first, I thought I'd share with you first before I get into other stuff. So this past weekend started the 2020 NFL football playoffs with this past weekend was wild card what wild card wild card wild card wild card round wild card round weekend. This past weekend was wild card weekend, wild card round weekend. So first of all, I'm not surprised that the Bills could only make it through just one week in the playoffs and stuff. They started out really good the first half of the game, early Saturday early Saturday early early Saturday night. Then in second half, Houston's energy and stuff and defense and real time plays really started coming a lot. Really start really started really really started really really started really started coming a lot. Really started coming. Really started. Really started coming. Really started coming alive. You know. So again, I'm not surprised Buffalo Bills were only able to make it through just 1 week in the 2020 NFL football playoffs this year. Better news, however, believe it or not, surprisingly and shockingly, a lot of people were not even expecting this. But believe it or not, Tennessee Titans later on late Saturday night, believe it or not, managed to knock New England Patriots out of the playoffs, believe it or not. So thank God for this year. We know other teams are definitely going to have the floor with making and winning a Super Bowl, such as maybe Baltimore. Fact of the matter is, I know San Francisco right now being in the playoffs, and the fact that they were one of the teams that clinched having a week off this past weekend, and now playing Minnesota this weekend, this Saturday. San Francisco being stepmom's team, gonna kind of at least probably definitely hope that they'll definitely at least hopefully I'll call it for right now, keeping a little bit low profile for right now. I'll call it at least make it to the championship and maybe even better yet, make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, San Francisco, they've definitely had a great season, and it's it's definitely amazing that these past few years they've been very mediocre. They've been real mediocre and stuff at like their plays, and they've just been a mediocre team. And this year this year this past this this past year and this past season they had like the best season that they had in a while, and they actually ended up clinching division a couple weeks ago. Oh, you know, and so one thing I thought I would show you, believe it or not, my 2020 Snapfish calendar, believe it or not, made it here the other day, just a couple of days ago. Yep, 2020 Snapfish calendar. Yep. So this is what I've got the front cover of 2020 Snapfish calendar looking like. This is what this month for January 2020 looks like. This is what next month for February 2020 looks like. This is what March, 2 months from now for March 2020 looks like. This is what April 2020, 4 months from 3 months from now looks like. This is what May 2020, 4 months from now looks like. This is what June 5 months from now. This is what June 5 months from now 2020 looks like. This is what July 2020 looks like. This is what I've got August 2020 looking like. This is September 2020. This is October 2020. This is November 2020, later on in the year, and to wrap it all up, this is December 2020, towards the end of the year. All right, so that's how I got my 2020 Snapfish. That's how I decided to have my 2020 Snapfish calendar looking like. And my dad will be on his way here in about a little more than another hour. So this week I just did a couple of days with work at BJ's. We know right after the holiday season is just finished up. Usually the first week, maybe even first couple of weeks, or at least a week or couple weeks, first week, maybe even first couple of weeks, you're going to have at least a slow week, maybe even a couple slow weeks, for a little while. Right after the holiday season had finished up and stuff. And this week was kind of one of them. So this week, I'm just doing the other day, this past Monday, 9:30 a.m. to 3, and yesterday was Tuesday. Yesterday, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. yesterday. Next week, we're doing a little bit more. Doing Tuesday, Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. to 4:30, and next Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. So, um, and for the most part, this month, January 2020 so far, not in all aspects, but in some aspects, off and on, has started out kind of unseasonably warm, in a way. I mean, the past couple of days, Monday and yesterday, well, Monday we had not like real high wind, but it got really windy, in parts of the area as the day went on Monday. But we had a couple days last week that were really really mild. This weekend is actually, this Saturday at least, it looks like it's supposed to be. It looks like it's supposed to be in the 50s this upcoming Saturday with rain. With rain, you know. Um, and another thing too. So 2 years ago now, the first weekend of the year 2 years ago, for the first weekend of 2018, 2 years ago, 2 years ago was one of the coldest times that we had in a long time. Last year, a year later, last year, the first weekend of last year, 2019, the first weekend of last year, was very well on the other side. This past weekend, the first weekend of this year, 2020, definitely wasn't as bad as the first weekend 2 years ago for the first weekend of 2018 2 years ago. Um, this past weekend, the first weekend of 2020, just this past weekend, kind of got a little bit back to reality with more in the way of, some snowfall and stuff. I mean, we didn't have like, real out of control snowfall, but, you know, we got enough to, kind of put the ground back to white for a while. So now, before I try to pick my laptop up, I just want to let you know one thing. Now, first of all, when I did the recipe card collection blog a few days ago, just la, la, last last Friday last Friday last Friday last Friday last Friday la, last Friday and stuff last Friday and stuff. You may have noticed the picture was a little bit off. Um, well, here's the deal. Here's the here's the thing. So a good bit of the back end of the screen part of the laptop has gotten quite weak. So I'll share something with you. 2 years ago, I was in a situation where I had kind of wanted to try and do some downloading of some photos from something from something, and you know and certain parts of laptop was just really seemed like was just really acting up, and like stuff would kind of go a little bit, then it would stop, then stuff would get all frozen, and I just wasn't real happy about it. So then I kind of let myself start slamming things and whacking it, and apparently it did, which probably kind of was taken a little bit too far. And apparently I kind of, caused a couple cracks in the back of the thing, and in the back of, you know, screen thing of laptop. I mean, again, you know, it's still working fine, you know. It's just, you know, so right now, screen part of laptop is quite weak. Sometimes when I just have laptop just sitting right here on the table, like right now, it's in best interest to put something that has a reasonable amount of weight in it to hold it up. You know, Monday evening, I was kind of in a situation where it was just almost like, it seemed like for a little while, it seemed like it was almost just too tough to get it to stay up by itself. So it was in best interest to put something that had a reasonable amount of weight in it behind it to keep it up. So I want to just kind of let you have a look at what's going on with the weather outside. We do actually have a pretty good amount of snow coming down right now. So, you know, once again, you know, the flap screen part of laptop right now is quite weak. So we just kind of have to be very careful when I pick this all up, and I'll just have to try to hold on to it a little bit more, but let's give it a whirl, see what we can do. I know it's going to be a real test. Again, the flap part, which has got the, you know, which has got the screen part, you know, is really quite weak. So it's really almost pretty tough to get it to stay up by itself, so I'll just kind of have to hold on to it with one hand. So here goes nothing. Yeah, as you can see right now, we don't got like real complete heavy out of control snow coming down, but you know, there is some snowfall action going on. So basically what I meant to say from, you know, about the video on that we did on Friday and the picture being kind of off, you know, the front frame part, which is around the screen part of laptop, parts of it started to kind of finally kind of come loose. So that's what kind of caused the picture to be kind of a slight bit off. At least it looked like you could still see stuff just fine. What I've done for now is I took several pieces of Scotch tape to kind of tighten things up a little bit. So at least it looks like the picture for right now in this vlog, in this video, should be just fine. Got Weather Channel on right now. Yep, and it also says snow squalls whip over the northeast, and that's kind of what we got a little bit going on right now. All right, that's as far as I'm going to bring the vlog right now. So enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe out there with the snow squalls, and we'll talk to you later.